Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
Go live. It's not live anywhere though. All it's doing is it's broadcasting to that stream key. So now I can just dick around or do whatever I want. But when I go over here,
that video should pop.
Yeah, give it a second and then it'll
Yeah,
say
sure
excellent condition. It's a little delayed.
Yeah.
And then what it'll do is it'll show up there. And then when we're ready, this right there will actually turn green.
Yeah, so
boom,
you
or
can
blue.
actually go live.
So we're ready to go right now.
That's
Now it does
sweet.
have the delay though, which you have to kind of build in. I don't know how long it is, maybe 15 seconds.
What do you mean build in?
So, like, if I were to hit go live right now, it's going to have the last 15 seconds.
Right, so you've got to wait a little
It's not
bit.
live, is
Yeah,
my
I
point.
gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is money.
Okay, so that is basically, and then we've got a mind map with this. And
Well, maybe it is live, though. Look, there's a concurrent viewer. I don't get it, man.
yeah, but maybe that's like YouTube or something.
This is go live.
Yeah, you're not live.
Maybe
bro.
this is... I'm
you're,
not.
You're probably the viewer.
Go on my channel and see if I'm live. That's what I'm saying. You think that that's me? It does say preview right there.
There's no way you're actually live if you didn't click the go live, though. YouTube. One waiting. So somebody's waiting for you to go live.
Oh, that's what that is. And they're liking it, too.
It's weird. I didn't do that.
I know. It's already going to
Like,
like
normally
it.
I'm the one in
Yeah,
there.
so this is that's what I'm saying. They're waiting. So is this showing waiting?
Yeah. So here, if I click on it.
Yeah, so
Waiting for
it doesn't
David
go
Dobbs.
live until I click the go live. That's sweet.
There you go. Like that shit.
Oh, boom, baby. Let's see how long the delay is. That was instant.
That was real quick.
Okay, cool. So so now we're ready to rock. 3 people are waiting.
Well,
You're
I'm
one of them.
Don't get too carried away. Don't get too carried away.
All right, let's look at this real quick while we wait on
Yeah,
these.
I'm gonna
Let these
clear
people fill in here. So secure the property, send to the buyer's list. So should we circle back to the buyer's list then?
Well,
Or you want to go through this entire process first and then...
That's a good question, man. I think we start with the buyer's list and we say, by finding deals, you will build your buyer's list naturally. You don't need to focus on it.
Love it. However,
Or reverse
simultaneously,
wholesaling.
you
Yeah.
can build it, though, and there's lots of tools, but you don't need it. You don't need one to start. So
I think that's the key.
yeah,
You
so
don't need it to
basically, we're
start.
not starting with that because you don't need it to start. Get the deal will sell itself. Over time, build it.
Right. You find motivated sellers, you analyze your deals. Exactly. So we go in our order, like right here. Yeah, got it.
What
okay.
are we missing on here? So secure it, get photos and video, add the lockbox.
And I think post online. So what we're missing then, absolutely, when we said send to our buyers list, so secure the property, send to buyers list. This should be add to your website, which is going to be ours is Mario Black Book, right? Because that's how you send it. That's how you send them. That's how you send it out, right?
Yeah, but you don't need to necessarily send it out that way. You can post it online and sell it without even having a buyer's list.
I get it, but we're pushing REI Black Book.
Right. No, I'm with you. So
So
add
then-
to our website.
And here's what I think too, is that we talk about how you don't have to do all these steps. We recommend starting with the least effort.
This is the 101. Let's do this in real time.
Working to. All right.
All right, give me like 15 seconds of silence because, again, there's a delay.
You want me to smile?
No. Just, you know what I'm saying, before I hit this.
I'm
That
gonna
way it's
smile.
not backwards. All right, welcome guys. Marketing deals and building a cash buyer's list is what we're going to be talking about today on the podcast. Mike, how the hell are you, buddy?
Doing great, man. Excited to go live. We like doing that.
Oh yeah,
Like
man.
recording,
A little
sending
live.
these guys out. But yeah, we're going to be talking about marketing our deals today and selling deals, which is one of the best parts because, quite frankly, that's when you're approaching that paycheck. You're approaching that payday.
That's right. So we've talked about previous episodes, what is wholesaling and, how to find those motivated sellers. We did how to analyze the deals and, determine an offer amount by using a simple formula. We then talked about securing deals in some of the recent episodes. And today we're going to talk about selling the deal, which means we get paid.
Sweet.
Which is what is all about, right? We get into real estate investing for freedom typically, and oftentimes we don't have much of it.
We don't.
Because we're spinning our wheels with all these things, but this is why we do it.
Man, you're a professional problem
to
solver.
get paid.
Professional problem solver in real estate. So that's what we do is solve problems. We figure out how to do things. And one of those things is selling deals to buyers. So one of the questions we get asked, I'd say almost most often, is how do you build your buyers list and how do you find buyers for your deals? And I almost it's tough for me to say, oh, that's a really important thing to focus on because I don't like focusing on it. I really don't. I just don't think it's that important, especially in today's market when there are so many people looking for deals. So. Yep. What we like to do is kind of break it down. We've got a neat little kind of step-by-step thing that we do when we go through it. We even have a checklist of all the things that we go through when we are selling our deals and marketing them to our buyers.
That's right, guys. We have a checklist that we use.
We do, man.
And again, that's the coolest thing about selling deals is it's not that hard. Just use this checklist, and you'll sell deals. Mike, we've sold 400 to 500 deals using this checklist. Does this checklist work?
Yeah, sure does. About 400 to 500 times.
About 400 to 500 times. So this is not anything new. This is simple. We're going to market our property via the items on this list.
Well,
find a cash buyer, sell it, get paid.
What I like the most about the checklist is I think we kind of put it in order to put ourselves in a position where we don't have to do extra work. Because one of the things, like we were just talking about, is you're a professional problem solver. We're doing a lot of work. We're spinning our tires. So we put this in order of things that it's kind of like the least effort to you're putting in a lot more effort, So it's like start with number 1, and hey, you might get it sold by number 3, and then if you don't, you're going to go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to keep on trying to sell it a different way. You're going to keep on finding a buyer for it, keep on looking for a partner for that deal. So that's why I think this checklist is kind of cool. So
it's very cool.
Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it.
So number 1, we're going to secure the property. And really that's kind of got a couple things to it. But basically we are going to get a lockbox on the property if we can. So if it's a vacant property, we're going to get a lockbox. If it's an occupied property, then we probably won't do the lockbox, but we're going to want to get in communication with whoever is in charge of showing it or allowing access.
And what I would say is coordinate a time, maybe 3, 5, 6 days out, where you can have an hour or 2 window to access the property.
Open house.
Exactly. So you're going to have basically an open house. So either you're going to put that lockbox on or you're going to secure a time when you can access the property so that you can bring in your partners, your funding partners, etc.
Love it. And then also part of securing the property is getting a lot of photos and videos of the property, right? At a very least, get a lot of photos. If you do video, great. It's going to help sell it. Depending on the deal.
Man, I'll tell you what, video is really cool, and obviously we're doing video here. To me, it takes too long, though. I don't actually want to watch.
I don't do a lot of video.
We don't, and I think that we do a ton of photos because you can click through a photo at your own pace.
Yeah.
And the video is a little harder for a buyer whose attention span may not be there. Again, we're busy. We're buying deals left and right, but I don't have all day to listen to you, talk about and walk through the house. Now, again, that's just my opinion. Some people probably love the videos, but again, we're just not big on it because, again, videos it's a second walkthrough after you've done the photos. It's more time.
Yeah,
that you're
photos
out
will
there.
get it done. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
If you do video, great. It's extra. It's
That's
not
totally
going to
up to
hurt.
you.
That's the thing. It's not going to hurt. It's just going to take you more time. The photos are what's going to sell the deal.
Absolutely get
So,
photos.
Number 1, guys, securing the property. Get a lockbox for access if you can. Otherwise, get the access information and get photos and or videos of the property. That's number 1. Is there anything I'm leaving out about securing the deal? I don't think. It's
Well,
pretty simple,
So
right?
prior to this, just to make sure we're all on the same page, is
Yep.
we've got this deal under contract, guys.
Yeah, we've
you
already
have to
gotten
have the
through that.
contract.
Yeah.
We're there. So now we've got this property under contract. And some of these things are concurrent as well, Dave. So like to get the photos, you may have done that already
Perfect.
on your appointment.
Great point.
The lockbox, maybe you left it with the seller. Just
Already.
tell them, hey, throw a key in there, please, and I'll come out tomorrow to check it out.
Great point.
So again, some of these things happen already. They're not 100% in order, but yeah, this is step one. Make sure you've got the property secured and those photos ready to go.
Love it. Number 2 would be add the information about the property to your own website and or post it online.
Yeah.
If you have a website, do that. But again, it's the same photos and the same description that you're going to be using on your website as you are going to be online. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Exactly. There's 1,000 ways to do it.
Right.
We love having a website. We use the Discount Property Investor name and brand to publish our properties. And we use REI Black Book to support us through that. Really cool service. We'll put
The best
link down there.
disposition site for real estate
We've
investors.
used it the entire time we've been together.
That's right.
We love it for selling deals.
Mhm.
And yeah, so put it out there. You've got to get it out there somehow.
Okay. So putting it on your website is going to have a couple things that will allow you to do. But again, if you don't have REI Black Book or a disposition website, there's lots of other services like Investor Carrot, so on and so forth that can help you with this process. But you don't have to have a website to market it. So ways around the website. Let's circle back to the website.
Yeah.
Ways around it would be post it on all the places online that would be free to get
Exactly.
eyeballs on it.
So, and this is kind of goes into the third one, which is we say post it online, which is be like Facebook or LinkedIn, places like that. So you can post the photos and a description of the property.
Or a link to the photos even.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's a better
Or
approach.
a link to it, so you have Dropbox for your photos. Heck, that could be your entire marketing website, Dropbox. Just make a little flyer, throw that in the folder with the other photos,
Yep.
and boom, text that link to somebody.
That's my point. So Facebook would be number 1. So post that on your own profile.
Mhm.
Okay. Post it in local groups, right? So we're in St. Louis. We would post it in the St. Louis Real Estate Investing Group. Or if it's a good property that would be for a landlord, like a rental, we would post it in the St. Louis Landlords Group. So post it in the groups that are going to be niche to your market. You do not want to go find a national real estate group that's got 75,000 people in it. It's just not going to be worth your time, and you're going to get a lot of spam from that. So post it in the local groups, okay? Other than the local groups, the marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace is huge now. Very, very, very powerful.
Very powerful. It's
I-
Craigslist 2.0.
I'm going to digress. My wife loves Facebook Marketplace.
great.
She buys everything.
I listed some stuff for sale last night on there.
It
So,
is. It's cool.
but
But houses can be listed too.
That's right. So it's basically the 2.0 of Craigslist, in my opinion. So there's 3 things you can do on Facebook. Post it on your own wall and timeline. Post it in multiple local investor groups. And go local. You're going to have a way better result to find the people you're looking for, okay? And then last but not least is use the marketplace tool on Facebook.
This is
okay?
cool. So what's cool about the Marketplace
3
tool?
things you can do.
What's cool about the Marketplace tool, though, is that it allows you to push it into other groups that you're already a member of. So if you put it on Facebook Marketplace, you can then simultaneously post that into multiple other groups. You want to be careful not to put it in too many groups too fast or too many posts too fast, because Facebook picks that up as spam. And I've been on Facebook.
Oh, I've been in jail.
Yeah, you'll get put in jail. But again, you can use that tool to post it in a couple of
I've been
groups.
in jail already.
Yeah, don't. So don't go crazy with it. Don't abuse it. But you can get it out there. You can get eyeballs on it in groups that you're in,
Love
and
it.
especially if you're active in those groups and you see the stuff happening. Like use those tools that are available
So
to you.
that's Facebook. We talked about it being the 2.0 of Craigslist. So obviously Craigslist is still a great tool.
Mm-hmm.
So Craigslist, you post a property in the for sale by owner section of the property. Make sure you're marketing it as owner by contract, but it's a great place to get eyeballs on it. A couple other places, Bigger Pockets. It may be paid, it may not to post a property on there. You can post a property on LinkedIn or any of the other social media networks. But typically, Facebook and Craigslist, I would say 80-20 rule. 80% of your eyeballs are going to come from those 2 places. So focus your efforts on there. But anywhere else online that you could post a property, ideally for free, do it. It's going to get eyeballs to your property. Now, we kind of skipped over add to your website because I wanted to just touch on the fact that most people that are new, that are watching or listening, probably don't have a website or REI Black Book yet. So we highly recommend you get it because it's going to help you do what we would do next. So next we would add it to our website or simultaneously while we're posting this all over social media. We're going to add it on our website and we're going to call buyers in the area that we know are going to be hot prospects. We're going to text blast buyers that have opted in to get our blasts. So they've asked for it, as well as email out our entire list or segmented list for that deal in that area. So what this does is, when we post online, we're putting it out there. People kind of got to go find it. Well, when we call, text, or email it out, we're delivering this deal to people's inboxes or cell phones. So there's,
What's awesome, and I'm going to mention the REI Black Book thing again, is REI Black Book allows you to, one, put it on your website, create a website. It allows you to send a voicemail to your buyers list. Say, hey, I've got this great deal.
Got a new deal, guys.
Here's the info about it. So you can send a voicemail to them. It allows you to text them. It allows you to email them. So again, if they've signed up, they say, hey, I want deals. And then you're able to say, hey, here's a voicemail, here's a text, here's an email. So you're going to get their attention with that deal if it's a deal, which is awesome. So again, you don't necessarily have to have a buyer's list, but if you have one, send it to them. Again, if you know people buying, send the properties you found to them. And as you do the rest of the things on this list, ask those people that you meet if you can add them to your buyer's list. So then the next property you get, you may only have to go through step 1 and step 2 and just send it to the people that you've already been contacting. Because like we said, it starts at the least amount of effort goes down to you're doing the most work to get this deal sold.
That's right. That's a great point, Mike. So you had a really good point, though. You don't need a buyer's list to start this process. A deal's going to sell a deal. Now, a buyer's list is going to ultimately speed up you selling a deal.
Yes.
But if you have a deal and no buyer's list, you can still do this. Okay? So don't stop what you're doing to try to work on building the buyer's list. Instead, build it slowly, every day, over time. Okay? You can build that buyer's list by collecting information from investors that call you, or you can automate it a little bit. What we do is, again, REI Black Book has awesome landing pages and tools for this, and we use them to basically have a landing page. And you can check it out at discountpropertyinvestor.com/VIP. It's that simple. discountpropertyinvestor.com/VIP. And it's just going to have a simple landing page that says, hey, what's your name, your phone number, and maybe the business name, and then check these boxes on areas that you're looking for deals. And we will send you these deals as we get them. So you can build your buyer's list over time, and there's lots of strategies that we'll get into later, but do not think that you have to have a massive buyer's list before you can start doing deals or marketing properties. It is untrue. So moving on, we talked about securing it. We talked about posting it online. We talked about adding it to your own website that you can then call, text, or email out, which there's lots of services. We like REI Black Book. There's a couple other ways to sell deals. And Mike, you had said earlier that, it's the easiest is at the top, right? And then if you need to, you can do these other approaches, but you might not need to. You might be able to just send a text or a call out to the buyer's list to get it sold, or maybe make posts on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and get it sold. You might not need these other things.
Exactly.
But we have them for a reason. What would be the next thing we could do?
Okay, so one of the next things is it's similar, guys. A lot of these things are similar to the way that you're finding your deals. So you're finding your motivated sellers as well. So the next thing would be networking. So you're gonna take your deal, maybe print a photo or two of it and write a description. So make a little flyer and go to your RIA clubs.
I love RIA clubs.
So RIAs are your real estate investment associations, or just, again, real estate groups.
Just meetups.
So go to meetup.com, find some local real estate investment clubs, and you're going to meet people. So these are hopefully people that you're networking with already.
And you're going to build your buyer's list by doing this too.
Exactly, because half the people in that room they want to learn how to make a chunk of money. The other half want to learn how to build a portfolio of rentals.
That's exactly right.
Or maybe thirds. Because half of them want to flip.
They want to fix and flip. They want to do
Exactly.
some rentals. But some of the people there are just looking to wholesale. The more experienced people typically are not looking for a job anymore. They want the passive. So they're looking to get the rentals. But either way, go there, find the people that are in that room, let them know who you are, get their business cards, add them to your buyers list. But Mike, the purpose of talking about RIAs is bring in your deal on a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Print it out and have this piece of paper with a couple pictures, info about the property.
And bring 20 or 30 copies.
Bring 30 copies, yeah, and put them on the deal table or leave them on the seats of the chairs before the event starts. So everyone picks it up when they sit down and say, oh, here's a deal in 63114. I love that zip code. Maybe I'll go look at this one.
Don't forget to put your contact info on there.
Absolutely. That's it. Bring a deal to a RIA meeting. There's usually what's called a deal table, or in the beginning or end of most meetings, they'll do like a needs and wants. And if you need a buyer, then stand up and say, hey, I got a property under contract. I need a buyer. Anybody interested in this deal in this area? And that's it. That's RIAs. All right. Next, I'm going to skip ahead to bandit signs. I think that would be the next easiest solution, Mike.
Okay.
Over direct mail. So next, I'm going to say bandit signs because the cost is a lot lower than mail and it's quicker. You can go put these signs up right now. You don't have to wait a couple days for them to hit. Don't you think that makes sense?
100%. It's physical effort too, though. You know, like, so if you do the bandit signs, you got to order them. And well, again, maybe you're already marketing with bandit signs, but then you have to physically go get in your car, write, must sell property and to put them out at different places. You know, so it's physical effort. You're exerting your time and efforts. Again, this isn't a perfect order. It was just,
yeah, exactly. So that's right. So bandit signs are great. You can put a sign in the yard or on the corners of the neighborhood or just in the vicinity where there's lots of traffic that just says, something very, very simple and basic. 3-bed, 2-bath, must sell, phone number. And you can place these signs around the property, and people that, drive by that are investors are going to be interested in, hey, there's a motivated seller. Even though you're a wholesaler or an investor, you can still be a motivated seller because you're working with one.
And you're also
representing that person.
You're also going to get the curious potential home buyer as well.
Sure.
And you're just going to explain to them that, yes, I'm an investor and I'm selling this property. I need a quick closing. Can you close with cash quickly? Because that's one of the key things that's going to make this transaction smoother or easier for you. If you get an owner occupant that wants to buy it, and you're going to need to tell them, this thing's going to need a lot of work too. You want to be very, very clear with them because the owner occupant may not be the best option. But again, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Again, you just want to make it very clear that they need to be able to buy quickly with you. You have to sell it so fast or whatever. I mean, again, that's just very key.
So for sale by owner, sign in the yard. We're going to touch on that too. That's basically a bandit sign. It's just a nicer one.
Yeah, I lump those two together. I lump
those two together too,
yeah.
Right. So put a sign in the yard, put bandit signs around the neighborhood. You're going to get calls most likely if you have a deal and it's in an area that's desirable. Let's go back to send direct mail. That's on our list here too. We can use the MLS to find cash buyers, but we can also use our favorite software, PropStream.
I was just going to say, man, we forgot about this one.
PropStream has a cash buyer tool that we can then pull down. We can mail them a flyer or a postcard of our deal. Another way to do that would be to call or text them, just like we did with our website above. But this time, this isn't a buyer's list that we've built. It's a cold buyer's list. So we can cold text or cold call them and say, hey, I noticed you bought something recently in the area. I have a deal right now that you may be interested in. Are you? And if they're not, move on. And if they are, try to sell it to them. Okay? So direct mail, cash buyers list, MLS, PropStream. Again, mail is one option. Cold calling or cold texting them is another option. But if you are going to mail them, just keep it simple. Use a postcard or a flyer, something like this. Postcards are cheaper. That just has your number, a couple pictures of the deal, and some basic info about it, guys. That's it. Keep it simple, all right? Last but not least, list it on the MLS. And is there anything that I really left off, Mike? I'm sure there's other things that we can do, but this is really the nuts and bolts. This is the 80-20 principle all day. 80% of our efforts are going to be done on this list. Right?
Yeah, I'd say,
maybe more.
Almost 90-10.
Almost 100%, right?
This is a very...
So, last but not least, we're going to list it on the MLS.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
I would love to.
Yeah, because listing on the MLS, you're going to say, wait a minute, I thought I was selling properties off market or buying them and selling them off market. Well, most of the time you are, but we've had a good amount of success listing these properties. So, can you do that when you don't actually own the property yet? Yes. but you have to be a little bit more careful, or you just need to cross your T's, dot your I's sort of thing. You are listing it as owner by contract. Our local MLS even has an option for that as the seller. So you can list it as owner by contract in our MLS.
We actually have the option in our own local MLS to list owner by contract. However, you can still do this if you don't have that option, but you need to have the permission of the owner themselves.
Exactly, and I think this is very clear. Both times
you
have
may
to do
be
this.
the seller, but you are not the owner until it's purchased, right?
Right. So both times, I think you have to be very careful about that. You want to make it very clear to the seller that this is what you're going to do.
That's right.
Because again, there's big issues with not doing that. So
you can't just go list a property that you don't own. You have to get permission to do that.
And a lot of times you've got a motivated seller and they do not care what you do.
They don't care. They just say, sell it. I want you to be the buyer, or you and your partners just do it, whatever you need to do. And the ones that are the most motivated are the easiest, because we can just say, hey, do you mind if I try to find a buyer any means necessary? Which would include for sale by owner as me being that contact person. And again, if they're motivated, they're not going to care.
So let's talk about, so you're going to get that in writing too. So you're going to get permission to list it.
Which is
just
let's
talk
simple
a little bit about an objection.
One sentence that you add to your contract. Let's clarify that, though.
No big deal.
So simple. You're just basically saying buyer has the right to market property any means necessary, or even highlight it and say, and list on the MLS to search for a partner.
And that's my preferred.
Yep.
So I was going back to, what was I going back to? Lost my train of thought.
Well, let's look at the big picture here. The buyer's list is really, this property marketing checklist is really the nuts and bolts of what you need to do. If you follow this list, you will sell deals. This is what we do to sell our deals. We secure it. We add it to our website, and we text and email out the deal. Sometimes before that, we may call 3, 4, 5 people that we already know are buying in the area to just say, hey, before I send this out, you want to go get first look at it? They're going to appreciate that, and it's less work for us than having to answer all those calls whenever we have 1 or 2 people that we already know want it. It's simple. That's kind of like a reverse wholesaling. You find the buyers first, and then you market in those areas. So again, we add it to the site. We call a couple people. We wait a day or two. Then we text and email it out. We post it online. We bring it to RIA meetings. We will send direct mail or pull cash buyers list and cold call or text them about our deal, or even mail them. We place a for sale by owner sign in the yard if we can, and we place bandit signs around the property if needed. Now, again, not all of this is needed on every deal, but this is how you sell a deal. Now, all of these methods, too, will help build your buyer's list, because you're going to get calls from these efforts, and if that deal doesn't work out for them, guess what? They're a buyer. Get their information, add them to your system, and at a later time or date, you can sell them another deal, okay? So we talked about for sale by owner, talked about bandit signs. And then last but not least, if they are motivated enough and you get their permission, you can actually list it on the MLS, and you can try to find a cash buyer that way, or even an investor that may even have a bank loan. Doesn't matter, it's a retail play that way. And that's really it, okay? So Mike, we kind of covered the marketing. We covered marketing the deals very, very in detail, okay? We use a checklist to do so, okay? The checklist can be found, I think it's on free Wholesale Course. I'm actually not sure. Maybe it's on another course.
It's on our paid one, but
yeah.
Again, we just went through the whole thing.
Yeah, we went through the whole thing.
Make your own checklist.
Make your own, right.
I mean,
so then that's the marketing. We kind of skipped over the selling, which we're going to talk a lot more detail about in closing, okay?
Yes, yeah.
But let's just briefly touch on the selling real quick. So once you do all this marketing and you find somebody that's willing to buy it, you have to sell your contract. And again, we're going to go over this in way more detail in closing the deal. But basically, there's 2 methods. You can assign your contract, or you can close on it and then sell it, which is called a double close. In a lot of areas, they're going to allow you to do this with none of your own money. But that's basically the selling your deal. And then the buyer's list we kind of touched on a little bit. Let's just focus on that, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Okay? So the checklist is the main thing. That's how you market. Selling the actual deal, we're going to talk a lot more about in our next podcast and next section. But let's wrap up with the buyer's list, guys. So again, you do not need a buyer's list to wholesale a deal. If you have a deal, it's going to sell itself. The buyer's list comes in handy to make it easier for you and quicker, right? But you do not need one. So if you are watching this right now and you were like, okay, I want to get into real estate investing, specifically wholesaling, and you're trying to build your buyer's list and you're not doing any marketing for motivated sellers, stop. Do not worry about your buyer's list. Go get a deal. A deal will sell itself. You can build your buyer's list over time, and you can use systems like REI Black Book, which we love, to help automate that process of getting people to sign up, right? Building the buyer's list, though, one of the easiest ways is to go into PropStream, pull a list of them, call or text them, and see if they want to be added to your list. And then you can build a massive one very, very quickly. RIAs, I think, are going to be probably one of the best places to find buyers because they're the active ones. Some buyers may buy and then go away for a year, and then buy another one and then go away for a year. The people at the RIAs, they're buying multiple a month, if not a week.
Well, they're there to network to buy.
To buy or to sell, right? Deals. So RIAs are a great place to build a buyer's list. And then Bandit Signs is actually another great place to build a buyer's list, right? I love calling Bandit Signs, even the ones that say, we buy houses. I call those people and say, hey, I'm an investor in the area. I see that you're marketing for motivated sellers, but I'm looking to buy in this neighborhood. So if anybody in this neighborhood calls you and they have a deal for you, call me because I want to buy that deal. And that's really it. Don't overthink it. When I first started using, wholesaling, I was using Excel on my computer to keep track of my buyers. Mm-hmm. After I got to about 80 or 100, it was overwhelming. Mm-hmm. REI Black Book had a great way to manage them and also easily send an email or a text or an RVM to them to let them know I had a new deal. And it just made sense. You don't necessarily need it to get started, but it'll help you in the long run.
Yeah, and Dave, you've got links to all the things we mentioned below in your YouTube, and we'll put them in our podcast show notes as well. Use our promo codes. Most of them will give you a discount. REI Black Books is huge.
Yeah, it'd save $1,000.
Yes, it waives the licensing fee. So check those out, guys. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys. Sign it off.
Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, please visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support, and remember, you make your money when you buy, and you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.